In short, learning music is hearing a sound that you like and then learning how to repeatably make the same kind of sound yourself. Take the ribbon from your hair, shake it loose and let it fall, laying soft upon my skin, like the shadows on the wall. If you like music, you know that there are certain songs or parts of songs that you hear and like. For all music students, our musical goal is the same, to be able to repeatably create the sounds that we like. That's what we're trying to do. Is there a way to learn that without digging into a ton of music theory? Well, yes, there is, of course. Today we're going to learn how to find your musical voice. You do have one. We're going to learn simple song analysis, how to understand what's happening musically in your favorite songs. And we're going to learn how to generalize your understanding or how to take advantage of what we learn in song analysis to help us play better and to help us be able to recognize the patterns in the songs that we hear. Musicians often talk about finding their musical voice. Did you check under the couch? I'm just kidding. Your musical voice is just the collection of sounds that you know and like best and want to be able to emulate. That's it. There are certain sounds that you hear and like. You want to sound like that. The thing you want to sound like is your musical voice. If you have some favorite songs or solos, then you already know what you like. You're halfway there. Okay? All we have to do is learn how to make sounds that are like the ones that you love. Here's your first piece of homework. I want you to assemble a playlist in a notebook, on YouTube, on Spotify, wherever you like. Does not matter where. Make a list of the songs that you love best. These are the songs that you wish you could play. And the sounds of these songs are the sounds that you're ultimately going to want to emulate, at least as a starting point in terms of defining what you have to say musically. Part 2, let's start talking about analyzing songs. In its simplest form, song analysis is this. We just evaluate how the song we like was made. For today, we're just going to talk about chord progressions, but you can apply all of these exact same principles on analysis of a melody as well. Okay? If we understand how a song was written, we can learn how to make the same kind of sounds for ourselves. When asked about his process for writing songs, Bob Dylan once said, I just make note of the songs that I really like, and then I try and write a song that sounds like that. So, that's why we want to analyze songs. If we understand how a song is written, we can learn how to make the same kind of song. Let's have a quick look at Help Me Make It Through the Night, the 1969 hit by Chris Christopherson. Okay, so here's a simple sheet with lyrics and chords for Help Me Make It Through the Night. Here you can see the song is D chord, G chord, A chord, and back to D. First thing we have to do, now we found the chords, is we have to find the key. Most pop songs, almost all country songs, are written using some variation of a 1-4-5 progression. And if you're not familiar with the 1-4-5 progression, there's a card here taking you to a link on my explanation of the 1-4-5 progression. I think it's about 8 minutes long. Go over there and have a look and come on back and join us. Let's use our knowledge of the 1-4-5 and that's probably what we're looking for to help us hunt for the key signature of this classic song. The guitar itself includes a roadmap to the 5 chord and the 4 chord if we start with any one. Let's guess that my 1 chord is rooted on the A string. For example, in our song, we have a D that is the starting and the ending chord in the verse, and that very likely could be our 1 chord. So let's guess that my 1 chord is rooted on the A string. If so, then our 5 chord is the note below it on the E string, on the same fret, and the 4 chord is 2 frets below that on the E string. So in our song, D, G, and A, we're going D is the 1, G is the 4, and A is the 5. So here we can see the template of the 1-4-5 on our guitar actually fits if we line this template of the 1, 4, 5 up so that our one chord is the D chord. So what that does is it confirms for us that we are in the key of D and that our one chord is D, our 4 chord is G, and our 5 chord is A. I've often talked about the Nashville numbering system. Again, you'll see references to this in Understanding the 1, 4, 5, which I put in a card. Maybe I'll put it in a card here again. Go and look at Understanding the 1, 4, 5 if you haven't already done so. In understanding music, as professional musicians, what we usually do is try to refer to a generic pattern of a song rather than a C or a D or a G. And that's what we're doing when we talk about the Nashville numbering system. What we want to do now is we want to change our internal concept of this song. We want to stop thinking about this song as being specific chords, and we want to start thinking about this as being a 1, 4, 5 patterns. So here's what we do. We take our song sheet of the song, and what we're going to do is we're going to take all the D chords and we're going to cross them out and we're going to replace them with a Roman numeral 1 like this. Next, we're going to take our same sheet. Now we're going to cross out all the G chords and we're going to replace them with a Roman numeral 4 like this. And now we're going to take the same sheet, but now we're going to cross out all the A chords and replace them with a Roman numeral 5 like this. This does not look like much. But what we've done is we've stopped thinking about Help Me Make It Through the Night as D, G, and A, and we've started thinking about this song as the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, and the 1 chord. That wraps up the simplest form of song analysis. That's all we're really doing is trying to see this song in pattern form rather than thinking of specific chords and a specific key signature. We're just thinking this is a 1, then a 4, then a 5, then a 1. Okay, the third thing we wanted to talk about today is how do we use this pattern-based framework of thinking? Okay, the pattern, the 1, 4, 5 pattern, and the particular 1, 4, 5 pattern of this song does two things for us. The first thing, and all the singers you play with will thank you for this, is that you can now play this song in any key. What if the singer at your jam has a different vocal range than Chris Christopherson, and she needs you to play this song in F instead of D? Now you can do it. In fact, you can use the same L-shaped tool that we looked at a moment ago to find your 1, 4, and 5 in the key of F. Okay, here we can see F on the A string, that's at the 8th fret. So then the 5 chord has its root on the same fret, but on the E string, and that'll be the C. And 2 frets down, we'll find the B flat, which will be our 4 in the key of F. Okay? Take the ribbon from your hair, shake it loose and let it fall, laying soft upon my skin, like the shadows on the wall. Okay? The second lesson we learn is that a simple analysis of a song provides us with a system of being able to understand and emulate the sound of any song we like. Okay? If we understand this song is this chord, then that chord, and this chord, and we see it as Nashville numbered patterns rather than as a sequence of chords, now we have a stencil or a blueprint that we can use to understand songs that are like this and to create similar sounding songs ourselves. Here's a fun little homework assignment. Go and listen to He Stopped Loving Her Today by George Jones and see whether it reminds you of Help Me Make It Through the Night. And you can do the same kind of analysis we did here today on the chords for He Stopped Loving Her Today and see what you find out. So today we had a look at your musical voice. Understanding your musical voice is really just beginning to develop an awareness of what are the songs and sounds that you like, what are the songs and sounds that you want to be able to make, okay? Simple song analysis is just looking at what's happening in a song, making a note of it, and translating it into the Nashville numbering intervals so that you can start to see the song as a blueprint, as a pattern. And the third thing we looked at is using what you have learned in analysis to improve your playing by increasing your ability to identify the patterns in your songs that you like, both with your ears and with your hands. That's the connection we're trying to make. Recognize the sounds and be able to understand how those sounds are made and how you can make similar sounds or similar songs. Our goal in all of this is to learn to recognize the sounds we like and easily know how to create the same sounds in our own playing. It does not matter what key we are in. We want to be able to play our familiar patterns in every key, and now we can. Here's more homework. Take one of your favorite songs from the playlist I asked you to create at the top of this lesson. Find a simple chord and lyric sheet for that song on the internet. Using the steps we used here, figure out what key is your favorite song in. Next, take it to Nashville. Figure out the degree numbers of the chords being used. Mark the 1s and the 5s and the 4s on your lyric sheet, just as we did here. Now, move that same song into a different key and play it. Play with the song. Write your own lyrics to a new version of it. Sing a different melody over it. Play around with the skeleton of the song and put your own flesh on it. I promise the exercise will teach you a lot. If you want to learn more about the simple patterns that form the blueprints of our favorite songs, click on one of the videos that's coming up here. My name's Bonner, and I hope you'll join me here again soon.